Loan collections resumed today, and it marks the end of the Department of Education's roughly 5-year-long pandemic-era pause. According to an analysis from TransUnion, about 4 million borrowers with payments due are considered seriously delinquent, which is 90 days or more past due. That's about a fifth of student loan borrowers, for perspective there. Joining us to help break down the impact of these changes is Kevin Mahoney, a certified financial planner with Illumint here in D.C. Kevin, it is so good to have you with us today.
Thank you for having me.
I wanted to talk to you about this because, look, this is emotional, this is scary, and I wanted to ask, if a person's loan is in default, they're coming to us saying, what do we do?
Yeah. As with almost any type of debt, the best approach that you can take is a proactive approach. And so that can mean logging into your student loan portal and making sure that your address information is correct, making sure that the information about your loans is accurate, and then also making sure that your communication is really strong. So on your end, that may mean checking your inbox, checking your spam folder, even checking the mail that you rarely check to make sure that you're receiving any communication from the people who are managing your loans. And then finally, making whatever payment you can. Even if you don't think that the payments may be sustainable for you, just getting started and indicating that you are taking steps to remove yourself from delinquency or default can really go a long way.
Okay, I'm hearing you say put everything in writing, get everything in writing, especially with communication. And then, out of curiosity here, I think there's a lot of people wondering, what are the consequences of me not paying?
Yeah, so things are starting to change very quickly. People in default may see their credit scores drop pretty quickly. And later this year, the government can start claiming any tax refund that you may have due to you, or even garnishing wages. And so these are real consequences for folks that no one has really had to deal with for the past 5 years. And so it's even more important than ever to make sure that you're doing whatever you can on your end, no matter what other hurdles may exist, to make sure that you're in the best position possible.
What I've heard people say when they come to us is they're saying, look, it's not that I don't want to pay. I cannot afford to pay. So when people come to you and they say that, what do you tell them?
So right now, the best step to take is contact a group through the Federal Student Aid Office called the Default Resolution Group. And conversations with this group may allow you to adjust your payment based on your income and may allow you to take steps. The technical terms are either rehabilitate your loans or consolidate your loans so that you can exit that default status as quickly as possible and then enter perhaps a more sustainable path for paying off your student loans in the months and the years ahead.
Okay, let's talk about, are there any situations where I could challenge wage garnishment? So maybe something like I've had inconsistent employment, maybe I filed for bankruptcy. Any situations you've seen that you would tell us about?
I do think there will be a lot of people who find themselves in a situation where either the information on the loan servicer website is incorrect, or they think they are qualified for some type of reduced payment or forgiveness based on past history with their loan. Any number of different situations where the current reality does not seem to line up with what you were told or what you expected. And I encourage people to make sure that they see that process through, but it can be a very slow, very long process to get things right. And so in the interim, it's best to take those initial steps that I talked about. Do what you can do on your end. Be proactive. Don't just bury your head and sit there and assume that, if you just let this process play out, that you'll be in good standing. I think people need to take both a short-term approach and a long-term approach to ensure the best possible outcome.
Are people able to contact you if they have questions?
Yes, absolutely. And there are also advisor groups both in the DC area and across the country that offer counseling or just one-time advice for people who feel like they're really lost in the current circumstances and just need a third party or more professional perspective on what they should do in their specific circumstances.
All right, Kevin Mahoney with Illumint, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Thanks for the conversation and giving us some advice to work with. Appreciate your time.
Thank you.